Hello and welcome everybody to part 19 of my Empire Total War Greek campaign. And as you can see, this is, I believe it's like an ambush for the convoy. We're going to push down with these troops. This is the battle that I was showing at the end of part 18, so you guys know full well which one it is. I'm going to push my guys to the wall here, and then I'll garrison them, as it were, on the wall. I'm not going to just until they get there just yet, and I'm going to push around with these troops. They do have reinforcements coming from somewhere. That somewhere is, in fact, over here. Somewhere? Yeah, over here. So I'm going to try and flank them early on. Try and hit their cavalry with mine. We'll form square with several units here. Stop their charges. There we go. It's going to be on the walls. And that cavalry unit has been annihilated. Those are running off that way. This general's bodyguard are going to chase after that with my cavalry. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue to put my units on the wall here. And I've split my units, you can see, to two main forces. One that's going to be my flanking force here, supported by the Takitos Stratos, and the other one that they've now garrisoned that whole wall with. Should give some nice volley and give them some cover as well. I've taken out their general bodyguard over here. I'm just going to turn the sound down a bit because I find it's a bit too loud. Yeah, I thought it was the music was too high. There we go, that's better. So the howitzer shells raining down death from above. Gonna try and hit their camel nomads with it. Oh, and we've got the Silafis here, cavalry. They're heavy cav. Gonna try and flank them here. Yeah, they're all disorganised. They don't know where they're going. I've changed my mind, turned to go for my infantry last minute, and that has allowed my cavalry to charge in, flank them, and utterly annihilate them. Very useful indeed. My men take very minimal losses. And now I'm going to pull my cav back out to support on this left flank. So that's everyone's roles covered. Going to bring up my general so he's not too far away. My howitzer here, my cannon is here. They can all hit all of them when they come into sort of my my killing zone that I've sort of set up here. Just allowing the enemy to come to me, and I will knock them back quite happily. I should say, I hope that those of you that maybe don't normally watch my Shogun 2 campaign, my Toskabe campaign, have perhaps looked over the last few episodes, especially the last one that should have gone up just before this, because it was just shy of 40 minutes, so it was quite a large part, and quite a large expansional video. It showed a lot of expansion going on, basically. Don't think. But we've got these units moving up here. The Israelis units pushing up into my killing zone. It just looks awesome. I've got them all on these nice little ridge here as well, which is good. So it just streams into the village. I could push even further forward with this unit, but then it would mean that the enemy wouldn't come close enough for my troops on the wall to hit them properly, and I'm just going to bring this troop off the wall and put them back on so that they look better. Nice and neat units. Must have neat units. There we go. The general's here, ready and waiting. And my regiments of foot are all here. So their cannon can just about reach my units by the wall here. My cannon is actually doing exactly the same thing. Firing some very high shells at nothing really. But they can get quite away. But we're going to try and hit these Israeli troops here. They set up their howitzers here. And they're slowly moving forward with the rest of their troop. More howitzers. Really would have been better if they'd waited for all their units, because as they come in it's just going to be a steady stream of slaughter. My apologies for the coughing, as my luck would have it I always seem to get a cold at Christmas, either just before or just after the period, and obviously I get it on New Year's Eve. Great. So this unit's going to come up. After this unit comes towards us, I'm going to fast forward it a bit, because it's not going to be great fun for you guys just watching it slowly, the troops dribble in. I would launch an assault against the units back here, but the camel gunners here will annihilate my cav, and also they've still got troops coming through. But these guys are now perfect targets for my howitzers, because they've just stopped here in this little gap between the village or town. Just gonna wait for my howitzers to fire a new volley or new bombardment. Should be any moment now. This should be pretty good, hopefully, as long as they're accurate. That one wasn't. No, not very accurate today. I'm going to try and target them separately. But their units are slowly pushing up against mine. Very slowly amassing some forces back here. All getting ready for a push, I think, now. The AI's finally worked that out. Bring in their Hillman units now. Massing here, if only my houses could hit them. Would be awesome. Okay, so we might get some kills now. A few little kills there, but we're gonna I'm gonna fast forward this for you guys. So they're bringing more of their units in, forming in a big clump here, as only the AI can. My cannon really should be targeting them here. And my house is continuing to bombard the Israeli troop there, and they're bringing up foot artillery right there, the howitzers. This is just a big lump of units here. Their last units have come in now, so their army is should be being assembled any time now. Camel nomads pushed their troops and moved over slightly at the front there, with my howitzers bombarding them. And now they really should be pushing forward, but they're not at all. They should be reforming with these units here, but again they're not. They're just choosing to blast away at my troops. So we're gonna blast away at theirs. I'm gonna take out their cannon, and if they won't come to me, I'll have to come to them. But I'm gonna annihilate this unit by just charging with my cavalry, because they're not supported by any infantry or the camel gunners. All their infantry's here. There's a nice big cluster. So I'd rather take out these gunners, which I will do with a cavalry charge or two. These units of camel nomads got stuck here. Nice. We'll take them out. What? Where'd this unit come from? Oh, they were hidden. Hillman units. So I'm going to bring a cavalry unit round to sort of get them. One unit onto the artillery, and one unit onto the infantry. I'm going to stop my cannons firing. Oh, more of them there than I thought. Would have better pull out with my cav. And once again, my cavalry are paying the price. So pushing back these cannons here, cannon troop, they've been lost now. As long as I can defeat them, that's fine. But that has finally spurred their infantry into action. So we can now set my cannons back to fire at will. My cavalry's going to come back and charge here against the line of tree, which my other cavalry is against. Going to support them there. And also because they need to pull out of the way of the advancing troops now that are now lining up finally. But we're gonna it's going to be one final charge against them. And my cavalry can now exit out the flank here. I'm going to pull this unit out here as well. I can now leave that. And the killing zone can begin soon. But I'm going to pull around with these units a bit more. And then properly enclose the enemy. So I'm going to be flanked here by the Kurdish hillmen, but if I can with my cavalry, I'm going to reform them and bring them out in a wide arc and flank the hillmen here, so they don't flank my line infantry here, because most of them are sort of up here. And my house is going to target these units up in the centre here. It's the majority of the units. If we can hit the cluster of them, they will break. My Taketo Strata is trying to take out the Kurdish hillmen here. At least they should be anyway. They'll be firing by rank. Yeah, they'll do fine. Alright, so are these guys. Cornflakes, but as you can see, they're now pushing up against my men on my walls. I'm going to flank around with the cavalry now. Up against my men on the walls. They're taking very little damage, and they'll be able to hold them off and push them back. Now if I can, I want to push in with a couple of these units early on to stop the enemy running away and then cut off their retreat. So my cavalry are walking over here. They should be running like that, like bugs like that. So they're flanking around here, and they're going to charge into the hillmen. But you can see their units in the centre. Most of them have all broken, are breaking. I'm flanking around now with my troops at the flanks. They're escaping to the only point which is left over here, and I'm going to charge through with my cavalry in a second. But they're going to charge into the hillmen here. He says, hopefully. Enemy general is dead. And now the charge on the hillmen by my cavalry, removing their threat from the my flank. And I'm now lining up with my troops here. So the rest of these guys are going to push around about here. These guys need to move faster so we can get some kills in. In fact, I'm going to try and move them up there. These guys should get a couple of kills in. Right about now. Second rank. Third rank. Nope. Lost them. Push up with them. Shelled with my house. Is going to stop the barrage now by my cannon so that they're not hit too badly. And we're now going to use my cavalry to attack these units and try and attempt to force some of them back towards my infantry, which are now forming up here. The rest of these troops, I'm going to leave them on the wall. They're fine there. So I do still have the enemy cannon up here, which I'll need to take out, which I'll divert some of these units to shortly. He's in a better position here. So moving on, and then my cavalry charge in here, attacking the flanks of the enemy. And the Takedo Stratos, I'm going to move up to take out the cannon. The rest of the units are going to be chased off by my cavalry. Much damage done to them as possible, while marching forward with my Takedo Stratos. The rest of my line infantry here. In fact, these two troops are going to go like so. And these ones. These two, in fact, like so. And these units are going to act as a reserve unit for the Takedo Stratos should they be attacked. Cavalry finishing off the chasing down some of the units here. Bring that one across there. My line infantry never should just about get in the range, so to give some shots. If we just bring them down here, we might be able to get a volley off on them finally. Oh, and I wasn't watching my Takedo Stratos, and they have been charged by the camel gunners. Good thing I'm bringing up some reserves. Trying to pull them away to the flank so that my units can get in position. Oh, we've got some units that have come back, some hillmen. So I'm going to actually reform with my cavalry to bring them back, take them out. And look at Takedo Stratos actually just about staying with me, not breaking just yet. But my cornflake unit have arrived and they're shelling them with a volley. Suppressing them even. And my Takedo Stratos over here can in fact join the fight, but they'll take out the cannon up here. And this unit Takedo Stratos has done very well. It's not actually routed at all while facing them off. And I can now push up and take out the cannon with all my assorted troops. Those units have been well and truly chased off. Those units are fine. My cavalry here charging into the hillmen once again. And they'll be finished off nicely. So my unit's now encircling the howitzer artillery, and they're still firing round shot, otherwise I'd be worried that they'd my units would get a face full of canister, but not. My guys are now going to hit them from the flanks, take them out, give them a volley, and that should finish pretty much most of the units off, and they are gone. And the only unit that now remains is that hillman unit, which is just about broken. And the battle is ours. Sorted out the Mameluke invasion so far, and I'm going to end the battle there. Excuse me. Oh dear, coughing, not good. So I only lost 360 men, which I think is pretty darn good. Did alright there. And cornflake unit was top scorer there. That's good. So just one final unit remaining of their invasion force there. And then that's the main Mameluke army defeated. So you can see where we're continuing from. Going from there. And I've just got to... That was the last thing I wanted to do this turn, I believe. The last few units there to be taken out by my army, and then it can be fully replenished next turn or so. Just hit my trade and what have you. We're doing pretty well. Doing pretty well there. Check my objectives. We've got until 1850, so I've got plenty of time still. Well, not too much time actually. Not too much time, but we should be able to do it. We should be able to do it. If not, it's been a fun campaign anyway. So my fleet here is just using that to see what the Ottomans have got in the way of armies. Main one at Damascus, and this sort of small force here. Egypt, nothing there, which, as I've said, will lead to me forming a second army to take out there. And I've pushed up here with my infantry. Oh, what I'm going to do, I'll push up with an army here and take another province from Austria, which I plan to use then to launch perhaps into Vienna. That would be a certain boost to my income. If I capture that, and that would cripple them pretty much. If I could hold Vienna, that would be fine. I could also take Hungary as well. But I'm going to need a few more troops really to do that, and I'll start recruiting them shortly after this. I can get Grenzers! Yes, I love this mod because it does it by location. Grenzers are awesome. Yes! But I'm going to end turn, and I'm going to show you this end turn phase so that you guys, one, can see what's going on, the rest of the map. And while most of this part, and then I will probably end the part next, when it comes around to my turn again, because most of this part's been taken up by that battle. But I hope you enjoyed that battle. I hope those of you that come here to see the battles did enjoy it. But I don't have time to do two huge parts. I did one massive part on my my Shogun 2 campaign this morning, but I've only got enough time to do just under sort of 25 minutes of Empire gameplay. So I thought I'd rather show you this than nothing. Obviously I could show you my next turn, but if I start getting into that, I'll probably find that I've got another battle to fight, and there wouldn't be much going on there besides more economy. So at least you can see what's going on with the rest of the world. So France moving some large armies around there. They seem to have crushed that revolution. However, I think Paris is still pretty much clamouring for reform. Britain's still got an army standing there. I'll go check. Oh no, there's the revolutionary forces. Still a couple of them have survived. That would have been interesting actually to see how that would have affected the game. France, French Revolution, large armies defeated. Oh no, I lie. There is another large Ottoman army down there, hiding in Egypt somewhere, because it wasn't in Cairo when I last looked there. The Spanish moving large numbers of troops around there. And Sweden against Russia still fighting tooth and nail, the Mamelukes. And then we have end turns. Successful mission by one of my rakes in Damascus. I could attempt to assassinate their agent, but I won't, because that could cause issues. Ah, and we have a public servant that's died. No. Hope he wasn't one of my good ones. Successful mission. Ah yes, in the Mameluke territory. And they've just built up a brand new army to replace all the ones I've just killed. So really I need to push an offensive on them shortly. Their army's here. That will be dealt with next turn. My troops being replenished shortly after. I could push out, to be fair. I probably could push out with my troops from Anatolia. Let's see what happens if I push out with all those. They're still pretty happy. So in fact I might push out with just a Janissary army and just auto-resolve that. And there's the last few of them left, which can be quite happily finished off. There we go. My troops hardly taking any damage there. This army then is free to be replenished completely, and I'm now going to move them all the way along here, and I'm going to sort of garrison this town. And from here I will then push in to the Mameluke territory. This is the Ottoman Empire Syria they've got here. So we're going to actually bring this right and just check out what's going up here, because I can probably take that out at some point as well. I'm just going to need all my forces to take on Baghdad. Again, that'll be a nice trade boost there. Don't want to take out that dude. Can't really do it. Sabotage, anything sabotage? Not really. But as I said, will be for next time. But I just wanted to take a look at that British army. What's going on here? Grenadiers. Oh, and Grenzers, that's what I wanted, but I can't build them, damn it. But I'll still have a look at them. Still look at the, over here. Grenzers. Very accurate, decent range. And they can skirmish, so that's good. They get a double-barreled musket, do quite a bit of damage. So we'll be recruiting some of them, and spamming them in fact, probably. Because they're my own decent light troop I can get. But yeah, I like this mod that it does it by location as well. You get more troops, there are different places you go, more unique troops and things, what have you. So, I'm going to have to end that part for now though. I hope you enjoyed the battle, I hope you enjoyed the tiny little bit of campaign that I've been able to show you. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Please do remember to comment, rate, subscribe. Next time we will see my army garrison here, replenish, and then move on by Baghdad, as long as the Ottomans don't do anything stupid. So, we've got this army down here that they brought up as well. So as always, hope you enjoyed. Comment, rate, subscribe, and would like to wish you all a happy new year. Comment, rate, subscribe. Bring on 2012.